Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we have a request from Hopeless Gaming on how do you make particles in Godot. Well, today I'm going to be going over and explaining everything that you need to know on how to use the particle 2D node in Godot, and also I'm going to be making some examples like this fire with particles and this rain that are made of particles. But before we get started, I just want to let you guys know that I am working on a how to make an RPG series, and it will be coming out very soon on this channel, and I'm working super hard on how to teach you to make a complete game from very start all the way to the very finishing touches. So subscribe with the bell if you do not want to miss it. But let's get started with the particle system in Godot. Alright, so to get started with this tutorial, first of all, I want to explain kind of what the particle system is in Godot. And let me tell you, Godot does have a pretty advanced particle system. So if we go to the node 2D and we add it is called a particle 2D just right here. If we add this, there's a lot of stuff that we can do under this. Like, we can create fire, smoke, explosions. You can create a little trail behind the player, rain, snow, just a ton of different stuff depending on what type of game. I mean, like, let's say you're doing a platformer, you'd probably want a trail behind your player, or when you jump you want stuff to be emitted, or when you swing your weapon it can be a magic sword and you can have like magic sparks fly off the sword as you swing it, or the wand. Or if you're flying on a carpet somewhere, or you got birds flying in the sky, you can have little particles behind them. It just adds to the effect. Or let's say you have a cloud and the cloud goes around, you may want some white little particles floating around the cloud, I guess. And the particle system is pretty advanced in Godot, I would say. But first of all, I just want to go over how to make rain, fire, and then these are pretty easy, but they do teach you a lot of stuff that you need to know about the particle system. So if you go through how to make fire and how to make rain with me, then you should have a pretty good understanding of how to use the particle system and how it works and everything there is to be known about the particle system in Godot, or the particle 2D node. I guess it's not, I guess it's a system, but the node, particle 2D node, you'll know everything by the end of this video. So for fire, let's make fire first. So we have our particle 2D, I'm just gonna name it fire, and we have a ton of different stuff over here, but we first want an actual particle. So we're gonna go to the process material and we're going to just click on the little rainbow cloud that says new particle material. You want to add that, and then once you click this, you'll see a ton more options, like a ton of options. So we'll go through these here in just a second, but we need a texture. So we're gonna go right below the process material to texture, and we can just add a texture in. Now, this is for fire, and you're gonna see it's gonna start falling. So we'll fix that up in just a second. But for texture, for fire, you're obviously not gonna want to use the icon.png. You're probably gonna want to use like a cloud or a white circle that's solid in the middle, but it gets more transparent as it goes out. I'll try and put a picture of one up on screen right now, but you're gonna want to use something like that, not a Godot image. But I'm trying to use the Godot image to make everything look, make it simple and try and show you how to use all the features here in Godot. So let's see, there's a lot of stuff we can start with. We'll just go into the process material here where we added the particle system, and you're going to want to click on the little particle. So you want to click on the word that says particle, and it's going to show all this stuff. So first we want to stop the falling, so we're going to go to gravity and we're going to set gravity to 0, and you'll see we have no falling anymore. And we also have initial velocity, and we want to set this to like 200. Okay, now it's already gonna start moving, but we go to direction. So okay, yeah, we'll just go through. So velocity, this is like, obviously the faster you have it, the faster it goes, and the farther it's gonna go. But I'll explain why it goes farther. We'll just explain that now. So it goes slower, but if we go up to the time, we have lifetime. Now the particle, after it's emitted, it's gonna last for 1 second no matter what. So if it's twice the speed, it's gonna last twice as long and it's gonna go twice as far. But we'll just go with like 200, and you'll see if you have the lifetime, we'll do the lifetime to 5 seconds. We'll have 5 particles and they will last for 5 seconds before they start to disappear. As you see, yeah, they're starting to disappear now. But let's say we make it a lot longer, it's going to take a lot longer for every particle to disappear, but you get the point. So we'll just go back to a lifetime of 1 for now until we figure out how we want this fire to look. But you kind of already got the fire, kind of, but not really. There's still a lot of stuff to be done to it. But okay, so let's go back into the process material, and we'll scale it down because my fire, it's a little big. We'll do something like this, which should be fine. Oh, wait. Before you can do that, but we want to go to the velocity random. We'll do something like, let's see. This is just going to make like some particles are going to be quicker than others. We'll just do like 0.4, somewhere around 0.4. But look, as you can see, some particles are quicker, some are slower. As you can see, like these two, or you can kind of see some of them are passing other ones up. That's just what this is. So they're all going to be at different speeds, which is, it makes a better effect on the particles, which I think it makes a better effect. I'm pretty sure it does though. So we're going to want to go to color. Now we want color. We'll rotate this first. So we can go to direction. You want to take the X away and you want Y to be equal to 1. So never mind, you want Y to be equal to -1. And now we're going to shoot the particles up. So 0x, -1y, 0z. I don't know what z does though. Hold up. Maybe I do. Okay, it just goes that way. We'll just stick with up for now. But you can play around with directions to, if you want your fire to be on the roof, then you make this negative, or you make this positive one, so it can shoot downward. All right, now we want color gradient. Now color gradient, this is kind of how you get where it starts from yellow and it transitions into red as the particle is a thing. So we're gonna go make a color ramp, and then we want new gradient texture. It's gonna turn all black, but you click the little gradient thing here. Now gradient empty, we want to make a new gradient. You can kind of see a gradient here and it looks pretty cool, but we'll go to gradient and we will pick our colors. So we'll click on this here. Now we want it to start at like we'll have it start at like a yellow, so something like that. Yeah, we'll start it there, and then we want it to end at a full red, which that should be good. Now we also want it to like transition kind of quicker, something like that, maybe. Yeah, something like this. Just play around with this till you get the color you want. But you see how like you can see a ton of particles here. Now we want to add another one, so just click down. Oh, okay, yeah, so just click down and you'll add another little square. Now for this square, we want it to be completely transparent. Doesn't matter what color, but just make it completely transparent. And then we can add this a little bit closer. Not quite on it. Maybe I don't like the full transparent. Here, we'll click it and we'll add a little bit of color. Maybe something like this. Yeah. Okay, and then we'll full bright. Something like that looks pretty good for the colors. But we'll just leave the colors at that. Now, let's say our fire, it looks pretty empty, and you can probably agree with that. So we'll go up to the very, very top where it says amount, and we'll just double that. So from 8 to 16, and you can see, and maybe that's a little lot. Maybe we'll do like Oh, no, that's way too much. We'll do like 15, something like that. That looks pretty good. Now, as you can see pieces of particle way out here, way out here. Now, some stuff that is good, but for a fire, that is not good. So we'll go back into our process material, and if we go down here, we have spread. Under direction, you have the spread. Now, spread just basically shows how far it goes. So if we go to like 100 spread, you can see, okay, yeah, it's gonna go way out here and way out here, which obviously we don't want. So we'll do something like, I don't know, 15 spread, something pretty small, and then you can kind of see we have a fire, a working fire. Now, obviously, I'm using little Godot symbols, so it's not gonna look as good as if you were to use the little picture that I showed earlier of, you know, a cloud where it's white in the center and it slowly gets more transparent. But I also want to show one more thing before. If you go down here to material and we add a material and we add a canvas item material, you click on this, you click blend, you want to add, and then that's how you have light to the fire. Now, again, this doesn't look good just because I'm using Godot symbols and it looks like squares. So that's the only reason this doesn't look good, but it would have looked good if you had that little cloud image, which I should have got the cloud image, but it should be fine because this is all the basics of it. This is like everything we just did under. I'm gonna take that away just because it doesn't look good with what we have. So, oh, boom. Okay, so this looks better, but if you do want it to emit light and you want it to look more bright, like a fire should be, that's how you would do it. But this is how you make like a fire, like particles emit like it is from a fire or smoke, but a fire. This is from a fire. All right, and now for rain. So I'm just going to add another particle 2D, and we'll name this particle 2D rain. And let's get started with the rain. So textures, we can add in our Godot symbol, and we will go to process material and create a new particle material. Now, I want you guys to try and like figure out what I do before I do it, you know, because this rain is going to be easier than the fire. So rain is going to be easier than the fire, but we're going to start off. Now, this is rain. Remember, this is rain, so we're not going to want to take away the gravity from this because gravity can stay the same because it is rain. But direction, everything looks fine with direction. We'll just make it 1 and 0 here. Just looks better. Looks better in the properties. So we'll do that. And we want to scale it because rain, obviously, rain is not this big. So we'll scale it like super low, like 0.2. And then we also want change in the scale. So yeah, I'll do this at a bigger scale. So we'll do 1 and then we'll do 2. As you can see like huge differences in the size of, you know, it's just like how we did the velocity, how some of them are quicker than others, kind of what we did here, but I'm gonna do it at a much lower scale just so we can have, you know, rain. But okay, so that's scale. Now we want, so obviously rain doesn't fall like this. Rain is going to fall, it's going to be very, very, very spread out. So we want to go to the emission shape, and instead of it being a point, because this is the point that it's emitting from, we want it to be a box. Now almost instantly, let's expand the box on the x-axis. Instantly you see it starts expanding pretty far. But now it's expanding and it's going and it's disappearing right here. Now, try and guess why it's disappearing right here. Here, we'll add more particles first. So add like 120 particles. Now you can see. So now why is it disappearing as soon as it gets right here? Let me know if you got it in the comments. But up here at the time, we have the lifetime. So it's only lasting for 1 second. as if we go to 2 seconds, it's going to last us somewhere around right here. So let's test it. You see? That's what the lifetime is for. So we'll go 5 seconds, at least, so we can get all the way down here. Maybe 5 seconds is too much. 4 seconds. Yeah, see, 4 seconds is a lot better. So now we have rain. That's how easy rain is. So I want you guys to try and go and make rain and make the fire again. Try and do it again and see if you can do it all by yourself this time. But hopefully this video did help, and hopefully you learned something. Now if you see how the rain starts, it starts nothing and then it starts to fall. So let's say you're about to have a rainstorm, the cloud comes over and then it gets here and it then starts to fall. Then you'd play the particle, or you'd make emitting equal to true whenever it's rainy time in your game, or whatever game you have. I don't really know in a platformer why you would use that, but again, top down, this is also what you would want. Most of the time, you're gonna have something like this in top down as well, just so it covers up the screen. But you probably are not gonna have this many particles. So if this looks like way too dense for you and there's too many particles in the space, you can cut it in half, make it 60, and you're gonna see it's a lot less particles. I guess you can go even lower, maybe like 30. Yeah. Now at 30, you can really tell the difference of, like, it's a lot less particles on the screen. I'm just gonna go like 120 just to make it look good. But yeah, that is how you use the particle 2D node in Godot. Now, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this tutorial helped you out. I hope it explained how the particle system works. And I am also working on how to make an RPG series, which I explained at the beginning of the video, but I hope you guys do come back for that, because that is going to be insane. I put a lot of time in, and I have, I've impressed myself with it, to be honest, and trust me, you do not want to miss this series. It's going to be insane. It's going to be the best how-to Godot free course of all time. But thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much, Hopeless Gaming, for requesting how to use the particles in Godot. But thank you guys so much for watching, and have an amazing rest of your day, and most importantly, be safe.